Welcome back, everyone. This is Shauna, and I'm back with my second installment in the Bob and Nikki series this week. This installment is called Whammo Ranch. Let me bring up the audiobook cover for you at this time and tell you a little bit about this installment of the book. In this installment, we continue to follow Bob and his crew. They expand, and so Bob has decided to make a go of this saucer repair business of his, but he's got to keep it on the secret side because he doesn't want to get in trouble with the government. He's of the opinion that if the United States government found out about it, that they would come around and ask all sorts of questions and would put him and his team in their places for a very long time in a place like Guantanamo Bay or Area 51, which he references multiple times. But in this book, he's getting his house more ready. He's also starting a workshop to get the saucers situated and get spare parts. And he finds 3 cargo bots. Topper, which has a different designation. His initial designation is 2Z809. And OZ809. And so he calls him Ozzy, after Ozzy Osbourne, the rock musician. And then he has there's ZZ Top, there's Ozzy Osbourne, and then so there's Ozzy, there's Taz, and then there's Topper. So there's ZZ809 for ZZ Top, there's OZ785, and then there's TZ115 for Taz. And they all have different personalities. Ozzy is a speed freak, and so Ozzy likes to drive and design fast machines for speed. Topper likes to be involved with all sorts of machines, but he also likes music. And Taz likes a lot of secret things. You find out in some of the subsequent books that he really is into secrets a lot, but his name comes from the Tasmanian devil in the cartoon character, and he takes on that personality. So you have those 3 bots in this book, and in this book you start to see their personalities come out. Bob puts them in his shop. They organize the whole shop and all of the tools and put everything where it needs to be. They organize all of that for him. Then they start building vehicles. If you remember from book 1, Bob had rescued a woman named Delilah Mayfield, who we know now as Dee in the second book. And she likes fast cars and guns, and so they design her a Chevelle, and they put new tech in it, and she really loves the Chevelle. So the robots design her the Chevelle, and they have like this side hustle going on with, besides fixing the saucers, with getting her Chevelle situated. They also, if you remember from book 1, they also give Joanna a car that she comes into. So there's a lot of domestic sort of setup going on, but there's also a more sinister subplot that's growing. We have more and more piracy activity. There's a granddaughter and a grandma. They get rescued from a sabotage saucer, and they get rescued from the sabotage. Bob rescues them from that, but then they also find that grandma has a poisonous brooch that that's designed to take her out and not bring her back. And as the books continue, we'll see in book 3, there's more about this, but the conspiracy is growing, and you learn more about the conflict that has been hinted at in the first 2 books between the Slongums, who are Bob's wife's family, the Slongum family that includes Dingus and Nikki and Max, and the Rodhams, which includes Major Bill Rodham, Bob's contact at the patrol, and his nephew Bill, and then somebody else that we learn about later on in book 3. But as book 2 is wrapping up, as they're getting the workshop ready, and as they're sort of buying more property and expanding out, you begin to find out that there's more people at Shady Oaks, which is the nursing home facility. There's more people like Dee and Joanna that could be of use there, and that's something that we find out more about in book 3 and subsequent books. So I'll be back with that installment next week. But as far as this installment goes, this is a nice kind of domestic installment. There are some rescues, it's very kind of run of the mill. But as I said, the strength of these books is in following the characters day to day and in seeing the situations unfold. Another thing that happens in this book that you can see on the cover is that Nikki gets a dog, and that dog, his name is Schnitz. He's named for a galactic character in a television show, a children's television show, that Schnitz reminds her of. But Schnitz finds out that the saucers and the teaching machines give out a particular frequency that makes the humans tense up and makes training very painful. Training is always with the teaching machines and makes the training very painful for them. So Schnitz gets on to that, and the saucer repair team has a very difficult time convincing anybody initially that this is a real thing, but that's kind of what this book focuses on. So this book is very domestic, very much into Bob and his team and their setup as they continue to grow and expand. And I would recommend it if you're not looking for a lot of high stakes. It grows as you go along, but it always feels like these are people that you want to spend time with and just see what happens to them on a weekly basis. It reminds me of a lot of episodic TV in a book. Anyway, that's it for this installment of Bob and Nikki. This is Whammo Ranch, and I'll be back next week with book 3, Shady Oaks, where we'll find out more about some of the older folks that Bob rescues from that establishment and what they end up doing for the team. Until next time, folks, have a very good day, and I'll see you in my next book summary. Take care. Bye for now.